What's up, guys? Back at it again with another episode of the What's Bothering You Today podcast, where we talk about, hey, what's bothering you today? And we're not even on like some complaining type stuff. We're just talking about that little minuscule thing that might be bothering you. For instance, going to the store and your favorite snack might not be there. Or when you're super mad and, you know, those things that happen to you along the way, you know, just little bitty things like that. Hey, if you want to, we can get super serious, but we're not talking about anything political. I'm not touching that at all right? So today I got a special guest with me, my brother from another mother, my boy, my homie. We've been friends for over 10 years at this point.
It would be 14 celebrated this year.
Crazy.
Because it's 2010s when it really started.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So. My boy, Jacob Womack, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. How are you, Anthony?
Good, man. It's good to have you on the show. When I thought about doing this show, I was like, I got to get my boy on here. Got to get him on here because we be having some stuff bothering us.
Oh, for sure. And I would say there's always been, I told you this before, there's always been something about you that whenever I talk to you, it's like we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And for a little bit of a science from a science teacher, when two waves of the same wavelength meet, they positively interfere and create a much bigger wave.
Yeah.
So we get like, we amp each other up with certain topics, and it's, you know, it's pretty nice to get to talk to you casually.
Yes,
in a setting
sir.
like this too.
Yes, sir. Give the people at home a brief introduction of yourself.
Well, I am a now 32, recent birthday, year old. Father soon to be, high school teacher, and I am pretty much I like to think of myself as a Renaissance man, you know, a little bit of everything in my life. I like music, I like movies, I like sports, I like card games, a little bit of everything. And the only thing I really don't get down with is country music. You know, and I feel like that's gonna be our first topic is, can I go ahead and just jump into the first topic?
Jump right into it.
I feel like every single time someone asks me, what kind of music do you like? My geeky answer is movie soundtracks.
Makes sense.
But nobody really, I don't know many people that when they pull up Spotify, their most listened to for the year is movie soundtracks.
Right.
It's me and my wife. You know, that's why she's my wife. And the thing they always ask, well, what music do you not like? And it's not like I blanket country music.
Right.
But I feel like every single time, because I'm being honest, the genre I just don't listen to is country. I've never pulled up country and chosen to listen to it.
Right.
I feel like I get typecast as you're just a hater. You know what I mean? Like you're just a country hater.
Yeah.
Then the inevitable is, well, have you listened to Blake Shelton? Have you listened to Luke Graham? I'm like, you're naming all these people.
Right.
I don't care. So I guess in general, what's bothering me is just because I say I don't care for something doesn't mean I'm disparaging all the people who like it. Right. You know, but it happens so often.
Right. I get that because growing up, I didn't really listen to music like that. Like I drove, even to this day, I drive in silence in my car.
Oh, yeah?
So my wife, when different old songs come up, she'll be like, you remember this song back in the day when we were in middle school? No, I don't. And like all her friends and all of our friends just be jamming out to these old school songs, and they can hear the song and tell you exactly what time of year, what they was doing back then. I ain't heard any of them. I don't have any.
Yeah.
No. But when it comes to country music, I only like a select few artists. Like Sam Hunt is the one that comes to mind right now.
Can you give me any of his songs?
I couldn't, because let's see, that was probably 2014 when I was listening to it hard. I was like, oh my gosh, this dude is lit. But I don't listen to country music like that either. Yeah, honestly.
I'll say this: the best country song, which it may classify as pop, the best song that's country is "Life Is a Highway."
Oh yeah,
like that song.
Yeah.
It's a catch.
That was on Cars, right?
It's on Cars.
Yeah.
I love that song. I also love "A Single Mom Who Works Too Hard" from Reba.
I've heard that.
Okay, well that's those are just like, they're literally in movies.
Yeah.
So movie soundtrack or TV soundtrack. It's just, they're catchy for a reason.
Well, I guess she's not now, but when Taylor Swift first started, she was
a
country, right?
artist. Yeah.
Okay, so like things like Teardrops on My Guitar,
Those
stuff like that.
I respect it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I want people to be okay with it not being my favorite thing, you know.
Right.
And don't be mad when I say that I will never put it on my Spotify playlist. You know, just I'm not. And if you get me to like a country song, that's big praise. For you, but
it ain't happening.
It's not happening.
I don't even remember the song or what the lyrics was, but I was walking in Walmart the other day, and I don't know what I was doing. I was in there looking at some games, or no, I was going to the pop figures because I'm a big pop figure fanatic now, and Walmart be having some steals sometimes. So I was going back there, and then some song, it was like a relationship song, which I feel like almost all country music is about some sort of relationship or breakup or some form of fashion.
Oh yeah. Most music.
It just popped, and I was like, dang, I'm vibing with it, and I was vibing with it because it was kind of like explaining step by step mine and my wife's relationship.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I can get down with this. I'm gonna send this to wifey. But yeah, I don't listen to country music.
Keeping
like that.
with the music theme, this did not happen today, but it's happened recently enough that I feel it's still topical.
Yeah.
I, in my classroom, will frequently put on music in the background, especially when we're doing like independent work or we're like, you know, we're taking a quiz. Like I'll ask if anybody has a problem with it. And if it's one person, then we don't, you know, because I want everybody to have a fair environment. Well, when I put music on, I most frequently put on video game soundtrack music because that music is literally designed to keep you focused on a different task. And while it can be catchy, it's not going to be attention distracting. And the thing is, I think that whenever music is played and it doesn't have words, that doesn't matter.
Right.
But whenever I play that music soundtrack, so many students will go, "Where are the words? Where are the words to this?" And it's like, it's the first thing I'm like, why do you need words?
Right.
While you're taking a quiz, you know what I mean? Like it's just. Do you feel that way?
I don't feel that music needs words, and we've talked about this a long time ago. But I feel like music like transcends language. You know,
for sure.
Because you know I'm a huge anime fan, and I don't understand Japanese, but I am all about some anime opening songs or just any type of Japanese song, any language song that I can feel the vibe from. Like as long as I get the vibe.
Oh yeah.
As long as I get the vibe, I don't have to know what they're saying. I just want to feel it, you know?
I think you've said that before with like TV shows you've watched. Like
it
may be like a Japanese intro.
Yeah.
But you're like, dude, this song hits.
And
I'm like, you know, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I don't even know the words for
right.
it. But it's an emotion thing for sure. Like whenever someone's singing, like I could hear someone singing in like Hindi. And if they're putting their emotions into it, you can tell.
Exactly.
And that's an art.
Exactly.
You know? So I appreciate it. And I feel like something as a score and film soundtrack guy, I feel like it may be something that's just not for everybody, but I can feel that same thing with just the way someone plays their instrument or the way they arrange a chord progression or something. Like for instance, there's a Netflix show called Life on Our Planet. It just came out recently.
Okay.
It's just a sciencey like history of life on Earth type thing.
Okay, I've seen the
music
for that,
intro for that show. It hits me.
Okay.
And I heard it today. I'm just like, man, what a beautiful little rendition
I'm
of
to
something.
pull it up now.
And Planet Earth, Hans Zimmer wrote that intro. And I'm like,
Zimmer.
This pulls the feels. I mean, it's so good. But,
Hans Zimmer. That's a famous name. What is he Star Wars?
No, Hans Zimmer was Lion King.
Lion King, that's what it
like
was.
the first like huge thing he did, but he also did stuff like Inception and the Dark Knight trilogy, Interstellar, like all those movies. He's a big time guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, let's transition. Okay, I'm gonna give me one thing that's bothering me today, right? So, me and my wife was talking about this, and she's actually the reason I put it on this list. Of course, some people have different frequencies in which they clean their house, right?
Oh yeah.
Some people clean every day. Some people clean once a week. Some people clean once a month. Whatever. Hey, I'm not judging you on how often you clean your house, right? But no matter how often you clean your house, it's got to be clean again. And it's just like you turn around like, where did that spider web come from? like come on, bro. Like I just put this up. It's bothering me about how fast the house gets dirty.
Oh, I get you. It's worse with pets. You have pets. Cat hair is a menace.
Yeah.
So is dog hair. Luckily, my dog doesn't shed as much as the cat does. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And that is something that me and my wife have discussed too. She grew up in a household that was way more regular and regimented about cleaning.
Right.
I had chores, but my chores were like,
take out the
wash
trash.
the dishes, take out the trash, and fold the towels.
Exactly.
You know, like do laundry, vacuuming maybe and stuff. But dusting was on there, but that always felt like we're gonna put this on every other list type thing. My wife though was like, in her upbringing, it was, you clean this day, you're up early, you're doing it early, it's done this way, in this method, in this order, and I'm gonna check afterwards.
Wow.
And it was like, that's a different upbringing, you know? So whenever we got married, our lives blended and we compromised on rules. And so I get you. Like, I don't do laundry fast enough. I don't. I like to push laundry through, but it will sit in a basket unfolded for a month. Yeah. I'll live out of a basket.
I remember in college, that's how we lived. Like, I remember that. And that actually brings me to my next topic. We're both married, and like you're more recently married, but you know it doesn't matter because
over a year, almost 2 years.
Yeah, so you've had the time to experience this. When you get together with somebody, you start the dating process, and then you know, of course, you get married. Whether you move in during the relationship step or after you're married, whatever, it's still the same. That whole process of two lives coming together.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
a test.
It's a test, bro. And a lot of people don't understand that, which is why I'm conflicted on telling people to, you know, live together before you get together. Because it's like you need to really learn what this person's living habits are, what they can and won't compromise on, you know?
Yeah.
I guess the thing that's bothering me is like the different quirks that the significant other can have. You know, like there's some things that like, at first, you know, like as the relationship goes on, you learn, you grow to accept it, you grow to compromise, you know, y'all figure things out. But then there's certain things that you're like, nah, that's not happening. We don't do that here. Do you have anything that maybe your wife did and you were just like, nah?
So it's going to sound childish and it's still something we deal with, but like, it comes down to like what kind of food we were raised on. And my mom spoiled me when I was growing up with, if there were onions in the recipe, she would applesauce those onions. Okay. Like it would be textureless. And whenever we first started dating, like she would make soup and stuff and make food and it would be like, you know, it's just diced, but I get a mouthful of like peppers or onions and I'm like, whoa. I've had 30 years to not get used to this, you know. So that was a step in compromise of like, okay, where's the line that we call compromise with this? Because there's all the way to not including the onion, to we're just throwing it in whole, You know, there's a line there, and for her, and I've come around a lot on how to do this. Like I've moved my line quite far towards hers, but initially it was like you're gonna eat the onion and the pepper. And you're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it. And I'm like, and I would just stand there like, I'm not gonna eat it, and you're not gonna force it on me. You know, that was how it is. And like I said, it sounds childish because that's the kind of conversation you have with a kid. You're like, eat your veggies. Like, I like my veggies. I just like them a certain way.
I feel that. I feel every bit of that because with me and my wife on foods, it's more along the lines of I'm picky. You know that. She knows that I'm super picky. There's a lot. There's more that I want. Like you're better off asking me what I do eat than asking me what I don't eat. Yeah, it's insane. It's pretty bad.
Wasn't your college diet chicken strips?
Yeah.
Almost exclusively like chicken strips and bagel bites.
Yeah, it was great. And then how did they have the student center when we first? So
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A sandwiches, Pizza Hut, you know, like the basic like American everybody eat foods. Yeah. Anything outside of that, I don't touch. Yeah. So my wife has a hard time cooking, experimenting in the cooking for us because I don't eat it. So it's like she's not gonna make this entire meal, and she's the only one that's gonna eat it. So it's a struggle.
Can I be a shining beacon of light for you and offer you a bit of advice?
Please.
just eat it a couple times. Just try. Give it an honest try. Like you can even like say, I'm going to try this. And if I don't like it, you need to respect it. But there have been a couple times in the recent past where I have made a recipe or I have tried a recipe that I would have never guessed that I would have liked. For instance, number one, kale. No. Kale looks like something I would never touch. Right. But it was involved in making zuppa toscana, the soup from Olive Garden. Okay. My wife loves it. She's pregnant. She craves soup. I learned how to make it for her. The recipe ingredient kale had me step away and be like, I don't know about this. I'm going to let you have all of it. And it was a way. It was like two birds with one stone. Yeah. I get to make you something as an act of service, and I don't have to eat this. You can have all the leftovers. So it was like another act of service, right? But then I decided to make it for my family and invite them over. And I was like, well, it's going to look dumb if I make other food for me while cooking them something. It's like, what'd you do, poison it? You know? So I was like, I'm going to try it. And I ate it, and my God, it is so good.
Wow.
It is so good. So let me at least just be an experience of like, I've seen, I still have tried salad numerous times. It ain't it. I've tried ranch multiple times. It ain't it. But kale. Yeah. Kale's it. It's just all about preparation. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like that, Becca has cooked things for me occasionally that I'm like, I don't know about this, but her enchiladas slap. And it's like, I would have never guessed. Right. I've always been a quesadilla guy. Same. But I tried it and I was rewarded. That's awesome. But it's all about that trust, you know? It's like, exactly. I need to trust you that if I don't like it, you're not going to be mad at me.
Exactly.
And that's,
I feel that. I feel that actually reminds me, completely lost my train of thought, but I didn't know you didn't like enchiladas.
Dude, I thought enchiladas were way more complicated than they are. I thought they were way more complicated. I was like, they're probably going to have all kinds of stuff in them, aren't they? And they're like, no, it's just
Are beans in enchiladas?
Not that I ate.
Okay.
But sometimes if they're a bean enchilada, I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, honestly. I don't like beans at all. But that reminds me, so like you said, just try it. There's been countless times. There's been countless things that she's actually, because what she's so funny with it. What she does is she'll be like, try some of this, and I'm like, nah,
that's a trap.
And she don't move her hand. It's like, try it. No, like I'll say it after the second time. If she don't move, fine. I don't have a choice at that point.
You can't just walk away.
Exactly. And I've tried them, and I actually like it. But I have to respond a certain way from where I'll actually try it again.
I know all about it. Guys at home who have not had the pleasure of cooking food or having food with Anthony lies. He lies to you, to your face. I cooked him steak one time because I was like, Anthony, I know you like burgers, but you got to try steak. Like, it's the most premier way to eat beef. I cooked the steak, and I was so confident in that thing, and you were like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah. If it's made like this, I'll eat some steak. Yeah. When's the last time you ate steak?
Actually, 2 weeks ago on the cruise. All 7 days.
When's the last time you had steak in-house? Like you made it?
I've made it. Yeah. I've never made steak in my life.
Or you ever ordered steak at a restaurant?
I have, but that was before I ate your steak. Okay. And yours, like,
I was under the impression you did not like it because you never did.
No, your steak, because what was it? The strip, the New York strip, right? Yeah. That steak was fire, and it was actually your steak was better than the steak that I had on the cruise. I can't tell you what type of steak it was, but because my issue was I always did my steaks well done.
Okay. And that's definitely a big deal.
And I don't like to have to chew for too long. Oh, so sure. I said I'm not going to eat steaks because I thought they were all done like that.
Well, maybe that wasn't a good example, but I could have sworn there were times where I've literally watched you say, that's pretty good. Yeah. And then you're like, I'm never going to eat that.
You're absolutely right. So in my head, I'd be thinking, that's pretty good, as in, it's better than what I thought it was going to be.
But the bar was so low that even just this is bad is a huge improvement. It's all about the margin of improvement. Yeah.
But yeah, that steak was actually fire that you made, and I actually wanted it again because I told my wife that I'm gonna have to learn the recipe from Jacob so I can make it for you. Cause yeah,
That's very high praise.
Yeah.
Even if you're not lying, I can't tell.
I'm not. That was actually fire.
I have one more small food topic on the what's bothering me, because ever since I was little,
Yeah.
my parents and my grandparents had the Food Network on. And one thing always irritated me on the Food Network. I would get excited when I would see a recipe that one of those Food Network high-level chefs was going to make that I'm like, oh, that sounds good.
Right.
And I would get really excited when Rachel Ray would say, I'm going to make macaroni and cheese today. And I was like, perfect. I love mac and cheese. And then she'd start with a roux. She'd get some flour and butter, and she'd get some melted cheese. And I'm like, okay, we're cooking.
Yeah.
She'd get some noodles, some shells or something. She's boiling them. We're cooking. She'd throw it in the pot, butter the pan. Everything looks good. And then out comes a bowl of tomatoes.
What the?
Out comes a bowl of peppers. Out comes a bowl of bacon. And I'm like, no. Go back to the peppers and onions part. Like, or tomatoes. Like, why do you have to infuse that into mac and cheese? And, you know, her reason would be like, well, if she just makes Kraft mac and cheese, how is that Food Network worthy, you know? But the thing that bothers me is when people ruin very simple and effective foods.
That's like traitorous. Tomatoes?
Yeah. Tomatoes.
And mac and cheese?
Yeah, adding like diced tomatoes and peppers and stuff into your mac and cheese. Like, it's a special thing. You, as a fellow, what people would call a picky eater, I feel like you're way farther on the spectrum. So I'm being careful planting my flag with you. When you see the food, you kind of ratio it out of like, if I were to grab a spoon of it, would I guarantee to see something I don't want in every single spoon? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can I parse through this? It's like Supreme Pizza. It has a lot of ingredients I love.
Yeah.
But it also has black olives. It has peppers on there.
Do you like mushrooms?
It has onions. No, it has mushrooms on there.
Yeah,
I don't like those.
no way.
So it's like, there's a lot of ingredients I like. And people are like, well, just pick it off. And I'm like, stop acting like that's easy.
Exactly. We would always, when I was a kid, even to this day, I would order a cheeseburger, and I get mine plain and dry, or I have ketchup on it. Well, sometimes they mess up and leave they add mayonnaise or something
We're
to
whipping
it.
We're going
exactly. And you can't just wipe it off. People always say just wipe it off. No, that stuff is infused in the bread.
Especially pickles.
Oh,
Pickles
bro.
will invade.
A number one from Chick-fil-A. No pickles. And if they add the pickles, you can still taste that joker.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. My wife likes extra pickles.
She likes extra pickles?
So yeah, she likes extra pickles. So there's very distinct looks of the bag. I'm looking for that cross out on the word pickles. And that's how you can tell the difference in our meals. I don't get the wrong one.
Yeah.
But food is a resonating topic for us.
Bro.
Because we share. I feel like I once was just like you, but you've kind of been like, I don't have to move. And I'm like, you know what? I'll try it out.
Yeah.
I'm a people pleaser, so let's keep it going, you know. But I need to get more like you, apparently.
I think the issue with me was, because a lot of people say with picky eaters, they say that their parents didn't make them eat foods.
Oh, my mom made me eat foods.
They made me eat everything.
She didn't make me eat a lot, but I mean, she made me eat.
My parents cooked all different types of stuff, and it was like, you're not getting up from that table unless you eat that. And
it becomes a punishment.
And it becomes a punishment.
It's psychological.
So now that I'm old enough to make my own decisions, I'm like,
It's constant defiance. Look at me now, Mom. The spinach stays.
Exactly,
Yeah, I love spinach, though. Don't hit me up with that. That's great.
I wish I could be Popeye, but no, I'm good on that.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, that does bother me too. You're right. The food that your parents make you try, it does have a big influence, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily always going to work.
Exactly.
But my wife's family are very diverse eaters. All of them. They all are very diverse eaters. And I respect them for it.
Right.
Because I see more complicated recipes and I'm like, dang, y'all know how to do that?
Yeah.
Like all these family meals they grew up on that I never had growing up. I had different stuff. I wouldn't call it less, just different. I grew up in my house. It was like a meat, a starch, and a vegetable, a steak, potatoes, green beans, or spaghetti, meat, starch, the noodles, and then we'd also have green beans on the side, something like that. But because my taste buds, I have like very strong preference for things. Well, a trait of mine, which you've probably noticed, is if we ever go out to eat somewhere, I will order the same thing I've ordered there for 25 years. I am very loyal of a person. So when I find a recipe I like, stick to it. Why change?
Yeah.
Why change? So whenever my wife's family would make meals that I had growing up, it was an adjustment for me because I was like, I've never put ham in my green beans before.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
I'll try it at least once.
Yeah. And I love a lot of their food.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
But the thing that bothers me is when I have that gut reaction, not them necessarily, but like other people and strangers would be like, gosh, you're so picky. And I'm like, stop telling me I'm picky because I'm opinionated.
Right.
Like just because I like my mac and cheese without peppers doesn't mean I'm picky. It's just like make mac and cheese the way like 99% of people would expect mac and cheese to be made.
Yeah, you like what you like.
Yeah. Not that they put peppers in mac and cheese.
Right.
I don't want to misconstrue that.
Are you a texture guy?
Huge.
That's why I thought you were.
Huge texture guy. And that's something like that makes some foods less obtrusive or less intrusive to me. Like I said, the pickles, they invade because I say like that flavor is like bam, it'll hit you.
Yeah.
But some foods, that's a flavor killer for me. Like pickles are good on their own to me, but like with other stuff, the onion stuff to me, I love the flavor of onion.
Yes.
But when I get the I lost it. You get shivers. I agree. It's really tough, but I will say my sister-in-law made a seafood gumbo recently, and I had never really had gumbo that I would consider like a good recipe gumbo, special homemade. It was a seafood gumbo with like crab, celery, carrots, onions. I don't know what else you put in gumbo, rice.
Right.
And I looked at it and I was like, this is not something I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah.
But I'm going to eat it out of respect. And that became one of my favorite meals I've ever had.
Wow.
And I don't know why. I don't know why. That's why I said
Try it.
Just try it.
Just try it.
I'm like, wow. I was getting mouthfuls of celery and onion.
Yeah.
Just give me more. It was crazy. I don't understand.
That's wild.
She put something in that gumbo.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
What they always say, hey, somebody stuck their foot in this one, you know? That leads me to another one. We might as well stay on food.
Yeah.
I was thinking, because like I said, I've recently started trying a little bit more. And like, I'm not a huge seafood guy, but I do like fish and, certain things. I've tried shrimp. I wanted to like shrimp so bad, but
it's a little rubbery sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just tastes like off-brand chicken to me,
I could see it.
Like it's just,
I can see it, honestly.
But so we went to a local seafood restaurant, and I got my chicken tenders like I always do. That's another topic
Chicken
that we'll
tenders.
get on. And
my gosh.
my wife, she got like a seafood boil or something with shrimp or something with something like that. And so because I wanted to try to broaden my horizons a little bit, and try a little bit. So I took one of my fries and like dipped it in like some of her sauce, and I ate it.
Was
I
it like tartar sauce, like red?
No, it was red, but it was like juices from like the seafood boil or whatever she had.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just to get a little taste, and it tasted great actually. I was like, this is great. So I was just dipping my fry in it, eating my stuff, dipping my fry. It actually tasted better than dipping it in the ketchup.
That's pretty sweet.
So later on that night, or it might have been the next day, I started itching.
Oh gosh.
I started itching, bro, and a few days later, my skin starts peeling.
Wait, was this might have been, I think I remember you talking about that.
So every bit of skin on my body peeled. I don't think it happened on my face, but I know my arms and my legs, bro.
I forgot about that.
Yes, I had like new skin. It was crazy.
Turned into a snake.
I was like a reptile.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like just food allergies, bro. Like
wow.
I didn't even know that I had food allergies because I'm so picky. So there's a whole bunch of foods that I don't eat.
Did you figure out what it was?
I have no idea to this day. It was something that leaked
terrifying.
into that sauce.
That's terrifying.
So I don't really touch seafood that much besides fish. Because even on the cruise that we were on 2 weeks ago, I think I ate some of my wife's shrimp, or I tried some lobster. I tried something. Later that night, my skin is starting to itch a little bit. It didn't get like that, though. It didn't get like the last time, but I immediately threw some Benadryl in and just took care of it. It was just like I started stinging all over my body. So I might just need to stay away from shrimp.
Dude, maybe a shellfish.
Shellfish.
Thing.
That's what my wife said.
Yeah, that might be it. But that does, I don't want to give you ammo. Your wife might hate me for this. You would now have a legitimate thing of like, babe, it's medical. It's medical, baby. It's medical. Like she's like, here, try some of this, and it's like literally like nerd gummy clusters, and you're like, it's medical. It's medical, baby. It's medical. You want to kill me? Did you not see me with my skin gummy?
Man, you remember when I got new skin?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, because my baby sister, she has a peanut allergy.
Mm-hmm. I hate that for her. That is so. Is it rough or is it
bad?
So like, is it like I can't eat things made in a peanut factory? She can't, or
no, she has like the EpiPen and everything.
So like, let's say I open up some peanut M&Ms around her. Does she need to leave the room?
Nah, I don't think it's like that. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's not that bad.
Sometimes as a teacher, like you got to be careful with like food days, because it's like, oh, if I don't do my due diligence here,
right,
and I open up like, I don't know, some peanut butter cookies or something, or Chips Ahoy cookies.
Yeah,
they're made in a factory that also has peanut products.
Oh,
and like, if a kid was like bad. You open up that Chips Ahoy and then they breathe it, and it's like, oh yeah, they're gone. Like it can be bad.
Yeah,
but it sounds like she's just like, don't eat it.
Yeah, don't eat it. Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
So kind of going in, still staying in the food vein, but so do kids have to like sign like waivers of like what they're allergic to?
It's medical release forms, like it's like information that gets given to the school, and then it like goes on their profile.
Gotcha.
And all like on our attendance stuff, you can see all that information.
Okay.
If you have the students.
So is that something that you kind of look over
at the beginning of the year? Pretty much, like you're really looking, because most kids don't have that.
Exactly.
You're just you really like look through your classes and go, do I have anything that's like, wow, I need to like pay attention to that.
Yeah.
And usually things stand out. But usually at the beginning of the year is when you kind of pour through your student list. Right. You're like, all right, what do I need to be aware of for each kid? Because everybody has unique needs, but the medical ones are like, bam, like
for sure. Okay, I hope it's like like it's red in the profile or something.
Yeah, it's more noticeable when it's like a severe thing to be aware of.
Awesome. For sure. Okay, that's good to know. And then, like I said, still standing in the food vein, I was just thinking of when I was younger, and how you saw food on cartoons. Like back then, I would see like a big turkey on Tom and Jerry, and how they would just eat it, and it looked so good. And then the first time I tried turkey, I'm like, oh, disappointment.
You didn't get much through that turkey leg without getting a bone or something or a splinter, did you?
I just didn't like it.
Oh, well, I complain about turkey legs too, but for the fact that like those big turkey legs you get at the fair and stuff, they're just full of like splintery bones and stuff. Like it's you don't get like a big bite of meat.
Right.
It's like it's not what you think.
Like they did in the show. Like they just ate the whole thing. And with the bones, the fish that you had to eat, or the fish that has the bone still on it,
I don't mess with that.
I don't mess with that either, because every time I do, I get a bone, and I'm like,
it ruins the whole thing.
It ruins. I don't want to have to pick through the bone the whole time. Yeah. And then when it comes to like wings, I only do boneless wings now.
Dude, boneless wings are just good though. I mean, they're chicken nuggets, but like this the ease.
Exactly.
I did learn. This is like a PSA for anybody who's gotten this far and wants to get some more food topic here. It used to irritate me when I'd get bone-in wings. It would have been something I brought up on this podcast. When you get the wing that has like the piece that's like empty in the middle, but it's like the two bones that are basically attached together like this. And then you're like, how do I gotta like stick my tongue through this thing to like get the meat out. And you're like delicately fighting through, and like, is it worth this for me to get, I could just leave this meat here and not look like a fool. Yeah. But I learned that you can just pull the bones apart.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
You can just pull them apart.
I guess that makes sense.
And then it just becomes one long thing that you can eat it all clean. I'm like, how many times did I look like an absolute idiot because I didn't think to do this?
I guess that makes sense. Dang.
I looked even dumber than I realized.
I think that's one of the reasons why I don't eat like bone-in wings, because of that.
Still I get barbecue. What flavor do you get when you get? Okay, so then it's also a hands thing. Like that's like you kind of surrender to your hands being dirty when you start eating with bone-in wings. Yeah. And it's like, don't get a napkin. Yeah. Just finish them, because you're gonna want to you don't want to clean your hands. Back to a wing, clean your hands, back to a wing. So it's like, make sure you can grab your cup with just this. Right. And then just stay with it.
I'm glad you said that, because that bothers me. It's not that I don't like getting my hands dirty. I don't like my hands being dirty while I eat, I guess. So when it comes to boneless wings, when it comes to ribs, I eat them with a fork.
Dude, I agree with that.
100%. I eat it with a fork. And a lot of people always make fun of me, but I'm like, yeah, but your hands are dirty. Mine ain't. You see what I'm saying?
Can I name drop a restaurant?
Yeah.
When I get Wingstop,
Okay,
and I get their boneless wings, and I get their fries,
yeah.
I use a fork out of convenience.
Yeah.
On everything. I'll fork a wing, eat it like slowly off the fork,
Yeah.
and then I'll fork through some fries, and I'll eat it like
Yeah.
that. And I know if I did that at the store, people would be looking at me sideways. I know they would, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
People always be like, "You're not from Texas," because a lot of our town is majority Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I live in Arkansas, huh?
Yeah, they're weird, aren't they? It adds up. It adds up.
That's so funny. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of the podcast. So what we're gonna do in this segment is we're going to every week before we do an episode, I like to make a post, and in that post I ask people what's bothering them today. And we typically get quite a few comments each week. I think this week we got about 15, 16 comments. Dang. And I was like, there's some stuff bothering y'all.
I have not seen this.
You haven't seen
this is all
any
gonna
of
be
these.
fresh for me.
Okay, so we're going to read a few of them off and just kind of like briefly discuss them. And there's some that really stuck with me. And this first one, I didn't really experience it that often when I was young. It's probably goes back to, I'm a picky eater, so a lot of the foods that I ate didn't give me this. Acid reflux.
Oh.
The older I get, the more it hits. And in all honesty, because I never really paid attention, I didn't know what it was. And when you were younger, you kind of you push through a lot of things. You're like,
I called it post spaghettios.
Exactly. I'm like, what's this spicy feeling in my head?
Yep.
But yeah, acid reflux, bro. Like I said, like the older we get, the more we have to like watch what we eat and when we eat it.
Yeah.
And it's bothering me because it's like, we're only in our 30s.
Can I be honest with you? I have a prescription.
For real?
Acid reflux, yeah.
Dang.
I have a prescription. It is pantoprazole, 40 milligrams once a day. Man. And I'm weaning off of it. I'm taking it once every other day because it's technically not good to like stay on forever. But yeah, I had it so bad. It got so bad that I would get it at night and it would irritate my esophagus and it would give me nausea while I sleep. So I would wake up like wanting to vomit. And then one time I went on a road trip. I was going to go see Dylan up in Bentonville, one of our mutual friends. And I had like, for some reason, enough acid reflux to make it where I felt like I was going to get nauseous while driving. And then that gave me anxiety, which re-induced the nausea. I had to stop. That's typically a 5-hour trip. It took me 8 hours to get there because I had to stop and just lay there for a second. So I understand the pain. Like it got bad.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy. Yeah. So acid reflux people.
We feel you.
Yeah. Thank you for that one. Let's see. Oh, okay. This is actually from my wife. She says, "Why do people feel like riding your tail is gonna make you go any faster?"
That's good. Yeah.
That is good. So she recently got a sticker that goes on the back, that went on the back of her car, and it says, "Do you follow Jesus this close?" Brilliant.
That's so good.
Brilliant. And as a matter of fact, when people follow me that close, it just makes me want to slow down.
Oh yeah.
I just slow down.
That tells me something about you, but it's fine. It's fine.
Slow down.
You'll just end up on my next podcast. No, I get it. My grandma, I think she told my mom this, and my mom then translated it to me, and it was because I would get nervous about people being behind me, like right on me.
Right.
And she would just say, "You drive for the people in front of you, not the people behind you."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, all right, let's just ignore and like just put the blinders on, not even focus on them because it bothers the crap out of me.
Yeah.
And it also, whenever someone just inadvertently, like I turn out in front of them, but I immediately accelerate to what I feel like is a very justifiable speed for that road. Exactly. And they're just, let me show you how mad I am that you pulled in front of me. Like that. like, you weren't going that fast when I was pulling out.
Exactly.
Now you're like, now you can basically smell my breath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in the inverse is those people you're going at a comfortable speed, and they don't pull out in front of you at a comfortable distance. They're like, and they wait. It's like you're going and you see them pull out, and you're just going, and they're like, now. And you're like, oh my gosh, you just interrupted my flow. I got to get off of cruise control and everything.
Yeah, it's awful.
Oh man.
I feel
okay. I love that one. Let's see. Another one. I'm going to avoid anything that's too deep right now.
Okay.
We're not, we're having a lighthearted
This isn't
discussion.
what's bothering me. This is what's bothering me, not what's killing me today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there was one on here, and I get this, it was like, why is the retirement age 65 to 67 when we have some presidents that are 70 plus?
Oh, yeah. They're governing for people that they will never even see.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel that.
And I feel that. Well, like I said, I don't touch anything political. No.
So what about Joe Biden?
What about Abbott? Okay, so this one is something that me and my wife have discussed. He says rate of living in Texarkana went up, and only thing we have to show for it is some car washes and Dollar Generals.
Okay, all right, okay. This uniquely hits home to me. I had a favorite restaurant in Texarkana.
Oh yeah.
China Inn on State Line. That was a historical place to me. Mm-hmm. It was one of the first restaurants I took my wife to as like a get to know me thing. It was one of the first places my family would meet. We would have dinners there together, and I would get the same. I literally had the same meal there for 20 years. Like it was somewhere they knew me by name. When I called them, they were like, "Hi, Jacob," and like it was a thing.
Yeah,
I could use that to flex.
Right.
Whenever I was taking my wife there, it's like, yeah, they know my name. The owners did not want to operate it anymore. I respect it, but who buys it? A car wash.
A car wash.
Like,
and what is it next to?
A car wash. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So cost of living has gone up in Texarkana. It's gone up for everybody.
Everywhere, yeah.
But I'm about tired of banks and car washes. I'm convinced that the only reason the banks are opening are to be commercial banks for the car washes.
For the car washes.
And it's irritating.
It's crazy, bro.
Our population size is a little awkward for like the big stuff.
Yeah.
But I always feel like, maybe I'm just ignorant to this, and I'm not an entrepreneur in that regard, of like at that scale. But I feel like I would like to see someone try, just try something interesting. And so go if you find a business that you're like, I'm glad that business is here. Give them your patronage
for sure.
Go there, try it out.
Shop local first.
Shop local for sure.
I'm right there with you, man. Because like all these car washes, it's just like I remember when Zips came to State Line. I was like, that's pretty cool, That's dope. I'm gonna get a membership there. I got a membership there. I actually ended up not even liking it and canceling it a little bit later.
My wife
and
too.
Exactly.
Same situation.
I don't remember what it was, but it was. I just didn't think they were good. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And then I ended up getting a membership to another one, and it was closer to my job when I was on Richmond Road. And then on Richmond Road, they got another car wash. I was like, okay, that's cool. We got one on Richmond Road now, and then they got another car wash on the end of the Richmond Road. I'm like, okay, the people on this side of town need a closer car wash too. Then they got another car wash. And I'm like, bro, what?
I will say the only exception, my mother-in-law loves Rocket Car Wash.
Rocket, that's the one.
It's the one that's like
by Subway, right?
By Subway and Big Jake's.
That's the one I have a membership to.
Yes, she loves that place. I respect them because they have those free vacuums. That's pretty sweet.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, she'll send a. We have a family Snapchat. She'll send a Snapchat of her in that car wash almost once a day.
Once a day.
She loves it, and if she loves it, she has good taste. So I
exactly.
It must be something. They must be doing something right.
I really like the one closer to I Associates, closer to the middle of Richmond Road.
Boomerang or something. That's
something
the
like
old
that.
One. That's the old one.
They have the scents that you can spray in your car.
Ooh.
And I was like, that's a dope addition. Like you guys are on it. So props to some of the car washes, just not props to the ones that came later. All right,
especially the ones that took over Chinese restaurant locations. Bro, I will never get my car washed there out of spite.
Bro, I didn't eat that. I went there a few times with you, and so like
I ate some chicken strips.
Exactly, I ate some chicken strips, bro. And so I had not as much history as you, but I respected the place. A lot of my people loved eating there. So when I heard that it was shutting down, like you said, because I respect the reasoning. Just don't replace it with the car wash.
Yeah.
But like somebody buy it and like
keep it going or something.
Keep it going. Like don't throw if we get another car wash, I'm leaving Texas again. I'm just kidding. I'm too much invested here. Okay. So we got another one that says, I am bothered by the amount of streaming services there are and how to keep them organized.
This is real.
Man, that's a real first world problem right there.
Yeah.
My gosh, because it's like all the new services that come out, they want to be exclusive because they want you to get them.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like, oh, man, this show that looks really good, the trailer and the preview looks amazing. I have to get what service?
Yeah. To me, I'll just run off a list of like what we have, me and my wife. We have Netflix, we have Hulu, we have Peacock, we have HBO Max, and I subscribe to YouTube TV because I want sports.
Right.
So that's enough. But there's also Paramount Plus, Apple TV. Maybe you can think of another one.
Prime Video.
I have Prime Video too.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. The amount of TV shows that you want to watch but can't because they're on something else, I commend them for having something I want to watch. But I've got to be more diligent about canceling these things because
for sure
I haven't opened HBO Max in months, and I'm just waiting for House of the Dragon season 2. Like that's all I really care about.
Right.
You know? So I heard something pretty interesting about this, and it was like cable's dead, streaming services are the future. But all that happened is cable is with the exclusiveness of the NFL's playoff matchup on Peacock. Football and the NFL, the most popular sport in America, it's still only on cable. Sports discussion, topical daily discussion over the NBA, NFL, MLB, it's on cable. I mean, YouTube aside, right?
Right.
All that happened was people who like news and people who like sports, they kept their cable.
Yeah.
But anyone else who was watching, the junk TV, the sitcoms and stuff like that, they left. So it's like some of the sports shows I watch, they said they have historically high ratings. And I'm like, how'd that happen? Because everyone left that didn't care.
Right.
And now they have all the market. Like
Right.
all of cable cares about your show.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. This person is right that like there's too many things coming out. And it tells me like,
Facts.
I bet I could get by with just like, I'm a YouTube fiend. YouTube,
Yeah.
maybe Prime Video. Netflix is iffy.
Right.
That
That
might be it.
I love Netflix, man, because some of their Netflix originals, the thing I don't like about them is how, you remember back when it was like every month it felt like their price was going up?
It's happening still. It feels like.
Oh my gosh.
It's bad.
I hadn't even checked to see how much because back in the day, what were they, like $9?
Yeah, it was like $7.99 for a Netflix subscription.
And they're what now? I don't even know if I want to hear it.
I think it's like $17.99.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What they did was sneaky. They added their ad-free tier, which is what you always were paying for. Then they're like, what if we offered you a cheaper, but it has ads? And you're like, well, what's the price though? They're like, it's $10 less. And you're like, what? Then they slowly raise the ad tier up and keep the other one the same. Then they're like, guess what? The normal one's going up and we're eliminating the base ad tier. Now it's this ad tier, which is the same prices of the no ad tier. It's like they're just raising the floor slowly. That's bothering me today. For sure.
I can tell.
That's happening over like every platform.
It's crazy.
About to
man.
ditch you.
Man,
about-
and something that I remember somebody saying was people left cable just to get a bunch of different platforms that add up to the price of cable.
That's 100% true. 100%.
And that post alone made me like take a look at all my platforms.
I genuinely do need to be more diligent about like, all right, we finished the show and cancel. That and if you can give me content that would keep me subscribed year round, congratulations, you're a good product.
Yeah.
I'll pay for you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's why a lot of people have turned to pirating. We're not going to talk about that one. Well, we are at the end of the podcast. We've had a whole lot of fun. Jacob is well, you used to be a streamer.
Yeah, I used to be a streamer. That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. We actually both used to be streamers.
That wasn't for me. That wasn't for me.
But Jacob is actually active on a bunch of other platforms. So, Jacob, could you tell them a little bit about your other platforms or what you do on the side?
Yeah. So, from what we've discussed on the show, like education-wise, I don't do anything with that other than like in person at my job. But I actually am a co-host of a YouTube channel called Ready, Set, Draw TCG, where we primarily discuss the newer-ish card game that released called Disney Lorcana. I would highly recommend if anyone watching this has kids or you are a couple and both of you or anyone in your family enjoys Disney IPs, this is a card game that it seems very collectible and extremely easy to learn. We have videos on our YouTube channel about how to play it. It's very easy. Like you just pick up the game and you can use the instructions they give and you can learn how to play. And it's very addictive. It is extremely well designed. The art's great. So we have a channel all about advertising pretty much that game and how fun it is and like discussing it in multiple ways and telling stories about it and stuff. Check that out. But also check the game out in general. Like,
for sure.
It's great. Anthony plays it too. Anthony is one of the most important members of that channel too, by the way. He produces with the podcast studio and all the episodes and stuff. It's great.
Yes, sir. Do you have any other socials that people can reach you at if they want to talk about the...
That's what you were asking for. I'm sorry. I'm not so professional as you. We have a Twitter. It's at Ready, Set, Draw TCG, where you can kind of like hear our thoughts on the game. And we interact with the community all the time. That YouTube channel is Ready, Set, Draw TCG.
Awesome. And you're actually going to be in a tournament here soon, right?
Oh, yeah. There is a charity tournament being hosted by other channels of this game that we discuss that you pretty much pick a charity and they have a GoFundMe and you can donate to it. We picked the American Cancer Society to sponsor as our sponsored charity. So if I do win the tournament, then all the money that was in the GoFundMe pot goes to that charity of my choice. So I'm honored to be a part of that. There's a bunch of other cool content creators that are going to be in that tournament. Kind of cool to reach out to the community and have a chance to, do something more than just play a game, like play it for a reason.
For sure. Cool. Love it, man. We're going to have his links down in the description box below in the show notes so you guys can check it out and check out those videos for Disney Lorcana. The channel has a bunch of videos on how to get into the game, how to play, and Jacob does a great and amazing job at narrating that. And anybody can watch his videos alone or the channel's videos alone and pick up the game. And we want more people to actually play in the game because the more people that play, the bigger the game gets, the more popularity it gets. And it's just a fun game. I mean, Disney as a card game.
It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet. And like you said, the art is phenomenal. But yeah, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us, Jacob.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely gonna have you on again because the conversation was dope. I mean, we really mainly focused on food.
Yeah,
we focused on food,
and it shows.
And it had a lot of fun today. Thank you guys for tuning in, especially if you made it this far. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button. Comment down below something that's bothering you today, or if there was a particular moment in the show that you really enjoyed, just hit us up in the comment section down below. If you're a listeners, we always got to remember that we have listeners, the people that can't see. So listeners, if you're listening on like Spotify, Apple Music, or anything like that, give us a rating because the rating helps us out. It boosts us up in the algorithm and all that good stuff. So hit us with a 5-star rating. You're down there anyways. You might as well go ahead and hit it. But thank you guys for tuning in. Keep thinking about things that are bothering you, and keep an eye out for the post that I post every week when I ask what's bothering you, and we might read your comment off. But like I said, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.